Bros and dudes, we have something to talk about today. We have something we got to talk about. Do you think we are better off? We were better off 20 years ago with our technology then than we are now? Do you think life has gotten better? Do you think we have improved as a society in America with this technology? Or do you think we've taken a few steps back? And have we created problems because of this technology? Have we created new problems that are even more difficult to solve? I think we have. I'm a young guy, like I'm 28. I grew up with technology. I was born in 98 and I grew up with technology. I grew up with it all. Like I grew up kind of in technology where VHSs were still big, and then moving into CDs, and then obviously moving into like your MP3 player, iPod Touches kind of thing. That's kind of where I came up, right? I came up in the internet age, which is a blessing in many ways. But I never thought that the future today, I would have never thought that AI would have been so big. And it's kind of scary, man. You see a lot of things on the line about how AI is taking over, and artwork has been completely taken over by AI, and jobs are being taken, and um these big companies are just lying to us. Oh, they're not taking your jobs. Yeah, they are. They've taken plenty. They're taking lawnmowers jobs. I mean, there's these robots that mow lawns. Like, do we really need that? Could we pay somebody to do that? And just, do you think, and here's my thing, right? And this is what's important to me. Okay? It is so hard to be human in a world filled with technology. It's really hard because we are now on the frontiers of technology. What was that? We have reached, dude, that was a crash. But we have reached a new high in technology, and I don't think we can stop it. And I'm afraid that we've let it go too far already. Have we lost what it means to be like a human? Like, the reason why I picked up pipe smoking was to slow down because it is an old art. It's an old art. It's like a there's almost like a renaissance of bringing back the old in today's society with especially my generation, dude. You know what I mean? We're getting back into crocheting. We're getting back into things we use with our hands. We're getting back into pipe smoking, music, art, like real art, because we miss that because for so long we've been What can we do to increase productivity? What can we do to increase uh, our macros? You know, who cares? Who cares if I'm eating, only protein with a little bit of carbs, and I'm exercising 6 times a week and resting one day, and me making sure that I'm watching my micros and macros, and peak performance, peak performance, peak performance, and got to make sure that my education is completely sharp and intact at all times. And I got to maintain a presence on LinkedIn and maintain a presence on the internet, and show that I'm having a, it's just, we lost what it means to be human and to slow down and to reflect. I mean, are we prepared for this? Like, are we genuinely prepared for what's to come? Because I'm personally taking a stance against it. Yeah, I make YouTube videos, but that's because I'm trying to showcase the human aspect. That it's okay to not be enveloped. Like, I don't play video games anymore. Like, hardly ever. I just don't. I have friends who do still, and that's great if that's what they like to do. But for me, like, there's just not much of a connection anymore. And I don't know if it's because I grew up out of it or I grew out of it, but it's like I don't want to miss out on things that I could be doing. There's so many books that you can read. There's so much life that you can take by the you know by your by the reins, and I think that with technology it's blocked us from adventuring. It's blocked us from achieving full human potential, not in the way for macros or but just human experience. We used to be explorers. We used to be thinkers. And now we have Google Maps. We've explored all there is to explore. We have AI, so now we don't need to be thinkers. What happened to having to think, dude? What happened to sitting down with your boys or with your wife and thinking about something? You're having a conversation. Oh, I can't remember. I can't remember what this is. I can't remember this. What was that movie that we saw? What was it? Let me whip out my phone. Dude, no, sit down and think about it. Think for like 5 minutes. If it takes 5 minutes to recall it, because you need that recall. That's good for your brain. It's healthy to do recall. It's not healthy to just have a magical tablet in your hand and um, have it recall for you, because yes, it's going to know everything. We just got to be careful, man, about what we're doing. And like we, back in the day, you know, we had, before the Industrial Revolution, it was the Wild West, right? Gunslingers. The West was unruly. We didn't really have laws in place to prevent it. We didn't have the police to prevent it, but now we do. And now we're successful. And the internet is now the Wild West. And AI is now the Wild West. And we haven't tamed it. We haven't done anything to prevent things from happening. I mean, does the internet fall into freedom of speech and freedom of the press? Is that, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Is full internet access constitutional? Is full use of AI constitutional? I think we need to write extra lines in the Bill of Rights, and we think we need to write extra lines and the Constitution with this modern age because let's not be frank, the Constitution's outdated. It's not there are a lot of things that we can utilize in the Constitution that are still relevant today. I'm not saying that it's completely irrelevant because it's not. Okay, I know there's a lot of historical guys that watch my videos. I know there's a lot of historians that watch. I know there's a lot of people who read that watch my videos. But I'm just trying to exercise a thought experiment. I mean, can we be real and say, hey, like there are some things that should be updated, but with the modern man, will he update it? In the modern politics, will they update it to suit their pocketbooks? Would it only be to suit uh, their pocket linings, or would they actually do it for the benefit of man, the betterment of this country? I don't know, but this whole thing has gotten out of control with the flock cameras, the AI surveillance. People are up in arms over it, and I'm up in arms and over it too because I hate seeing it. People are tearing down flock cameras. Good for them, dude. Good for them. Where this is America, dude. We're not gonna get mass surveillance like we are in China. It's just like we fought over a 2% tax on tea. We went to war over that, and now we're allowing this to happen. What happened to America? What happened to the fighting spirit? I think we got comfortable, and I don't think that America exists. I hate saying it. I hate saying it, but I don't think that country exists. I don't think the old America is existing anymore. I'm sorry to say it. Yeah, I think it's in our blood still. I just think it's dormant. I don't even think it's alive. Like I hate saying it, man, but like let's be honest here. We've allowed so much to happen that we should be absolutely up in arms over. And we're just not. We're not fed up enough yet. We're just not fed up enough. I think we've made voting so polarizing that people just don't even want to go to the polls anymore. You know, to protest, you got to protest with your vote. But now we can't even trust who we're voting for now because they're crazies. They're a bunch of crazy people. You have to be crazy in order to run for office. You have to be some level of narcissist to run for office. Another thing with the internet access is we don't know what the truth is because one system says, "Here's this is the truth because our data set says so," and then the other side of the aisle says, "No, that's wrong. Our data set says this." Like, which data set do you believe? Which data set do you want to like? And let's be honest here. I remember going and getting into political debates with a friend of mine who's a Democrat, and I'm definitely more of a conservative, but like his data sets that he pulled when we were talking about a certain topic were way different than what I had pulled because there's a bias between both. There's a bias. Like, are there any objective truths anymore? I'm not saying generally. I'm just saying politically. in through a kind of kind of a political sense, a statistical sense. Yeah, the sky is blue. That is an objective truth, right? I'm wearing a green hat. That is an objective truth. Yes, that's an objective truth. But what you see on the internet, who knows what's going on out there? Who knows? Like, it was already hard enough to decipher what was true and not because of how they construed stories. But now that there's AI involved and there's these fake videos where they're just getting so dang good that even I struggle with catching them. I know my parents don't catch them. I know my grandma ain't gonna catch it. My grandma's gonna see a man riding a giraffe in Texas shooting guns, and she's gonna think, "Oh my gosh, what does this country come to?" No, that's just AI. But it looks so realistic, she wouldn't know any better. I would like this. This is what I think, and this is kind of like, and I know that there's some truth in this thought process. Our founding fathers would have a sit down and talk about the betterment of this country. What can we do better? What can we fix? They used to do that. They used to sit. And these were just random men. I mean, these were just men who decided, hey, I'm going to do what it takes to get this country. We're going to do what it takes to get this country right because we don't want to be like England. Do our politicians have a sit and they think about the better? Like, do they really like these men? Do they sit around and they wonder like, are we doing what's right for this country? I don't think so. I think that they go to these scheduled board meetings and they go to these scheduled things, and it's not, and they do it out of obligation rather the need rather than the spirit. These are, I know this sounds probably crazy, but dude, these are like the things I freaking think about, bro. These are the things that bother me. These are like, I want answers to these things. Like, I want to see America not enveloped with AI. I want to see America not enveloped with mass surveillance. I want to see America not corrupt in politics because I'm sorry, but after World War II, we started going crazy with all of it. With I want to see corporations not take over the vote and here's some money if you start voting this way. Here's some money to get these laws in place to protect billionaires. And I don't know, dude. Yeah, capitalism's great, and I think it's great. I think it's the best system we've got. But come on, there's got to be something that we can do because there still shouldn't be this much poverty in America. There still shouldn't be this much low income. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not saying share the wealth, but like, I'm not like one of those guys that, oh, there should never be a billionaire. Or there should, I don't know, but there's these questions that we have that I feel like as most Americans, I think most Americans are independent and we are rational thinkers, but we're dealing with an irrational political system. We're dealing with an irrational political system that pins left versus right against one another. When in reality, if I were to have my boys sitting right here, we'd have a real analytical debate. And I think we would come up with a better solution than what we got right now, just in the presence of my boys. And I was thinking about something that's for the betterment of this country, but we can't do anything about it because we weren't voted in. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we could come up with a society something better. I don't know, man. These are just things I think about. But there's nothing I can do but vote. And who knows if the voting is even not rigged, you know? Who knows? I mean, who really knows? Who knows? I heard this one guy say, um, as a parent, you have to sometimes lie to your kids, right? You have to like small fibs, and it's very common for parents to lie to their children over small things. Well, do you think the government is constantly telling the truth then? The government is like the parents, and we're the children. There ain't no way they ain't lying. Just saying. I know this video has been kind of, how do you say, charged, but I'm just being real, bro. I'm just being real with it. And I don't have any answers. That's the thing. Like I have no answers. But I'm here and I'm present and I'm going to trust the Lord. Because look at me. I just got caught up in all that, and now I'm remembering that God's in control, and I shouldn't worry. We'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. We will see what happens. I know my buddy isn't gonna like this video, but let me know what you guys think. Let me know what y'all think. I mean, am I sitting here freaking being ridiculous or what? Or do you think that what I'm saying like I feel like we should have these conversations. It's good to have this conversation. It's good to talk about this thing. So let me know what y'all think. What should we do? What are your thoughts? Hope y'all have an amazing day. And yeah, God bless. See ya.